Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Biafrans, friends of Biafrans and lovers of freedom all over the world. Welcome to Sunrise Daily News Analysis on Biafra Television, a program that has been designed to educate you, a program that is so enlightening, a program where we analyze news in details. This is a program where we give voice to the voiceless, where we ensure that the evil is going on, the ills prevailing, the contraption called Nigeria is bring to limelight. On this platform, we expose the lies. Of course, lots of lies have been told, lots of lies have been said against us, and of course they try to, manipulate people in the contraption called Nigeria. They manipulate everything, and of course make people believe it. But on this platform, we expose all their evil, we expose all their lies. We are the indigenous people of Biafra, led by Nnamdi Kanu and deputized by Mafo. We are here with a mandate to restore Biafra, and of course, as we restore Biafra, the land of the rising sun, we ensure the contraption goes into extinction, because it is a false entity which has caused more harm than good. That is why we are here. We have a weapon to do that. Our weapon is just a weapon of truth. That is why we keep saying the truth. We are whiter than white and whiter than snow. We say it the way it is. Without minding whose ox is God, we say it the way it is. And this morning we are reaching from Biafra land. My name is Ngozi Tukuoka, and I have with me this morning
Bright Oriako.
Mazi Bright Oriako. Good morning.
Good morning.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Because Mazi Bright Oriako will be analyzing what we have here this morning. Very important. We'll have some headlines from the Nigerian dailies to discuss, and Mazi Oriako will be analyzing for us this morning. Very, very important. Of course, he's a great analyst. He say it without fear, without minding who is involved. Without fear of their armor tanks, we stand here to see the truth. We are not afraid of them. So this morning, on your own part, all you need to do is to share the program. You need to share the program. Don't forget, we work together. All hands must be on deck to ensure Biafra is restored. We are on our satellite TV, we are on Facebook, Periscope, Twitter, YouTube. We are everywhere. So all you need to do is share the program. If you're on Facebook, please share it on your timeline and enable it for public viewing. Ensure the public is also viewing the program, they're watching the program with you. Share it on every platform where you find yourself, every forum or every group where you belong on Facebook. Please share this program. Very, very important. It's very, very important you share the program. Also, if you're on Twitter, keep tweeting the program. Don't forget, we keep on masking the man in Rock, and of course, while we do it, the world need to understand what is going on. It's important. We know the world is aware already, and courtesy of the indigenous people of Biafra, we will not relent until something is done. It's very, very important, because we have come here to restore the land of the rising sun, Biafra. So this morning we are going to be looking at a very important issue, and of course they will be calling us 45 minutes after now. 45 minutes after now, our lines will be open for you to call in and make your own contribution. It's important, very, very important. Okay, Mazi Oriako, yesterday we were talking about the man in Rock going to the House of Assembly to give his 2018 budget, and of course I watched the video, and you needed to hear the people, and what could give them the impetus to harass the president. You hear so many of them shouting "Parawo, Parawo," so many were shouting "Ole," so they embarrassed him. What's your take on this? How has any Nigerian president ever been embarrassed in such a manner by the legislators?
That could have only been done to JUBRIL. Now, we knew that in the past nobody could do that to BUHARI. Yes, it's only JUBRIL that can face that kind of embarrassment, that kind of embarrassment from the legislators. You know that the man in Rock today is JUBRIL. That's the only person that can receive such embarrassment. And of course, we knew that while BUHARI was alive, nobody could do that to BUHARI. Nobody could do that. Because the Buhari we used to know is not the kind of person that will come to the public and be speaking and even a cough. You won't hear them cough. They will only watch silently. And of course, if they want to criticize, they will even mind the way they criticize him. So we knew that the man in Asorok today is not Buhari, and it's unveiling every day. Because we are talking about double negation, the evil in our land. Nigeria itself is an evil entity. We talk about the center of the heart of darkness. We talk about the land of darkness, enveloped in darkness and created for darkness. And of course, today it's not being ruled by an impostor. So we're talking about double negations, and we're talking about why things get worse in West Africa, why Africa remained where it is, of course, why Africa is addressed as a shithole. And of course, it can only take the indigenous people, those of course from the evil entity, to stand up and rescue their land, of course, rescue their families, rescue the future generation. Because there is an evil going on right before your very eyes. There's an evil, and of course a double one for that matter. We've been fighting with one, of course. We've been fighting with the negative entity called Nigeria. They created since more than 100 years ago by the British amalgamation that brought about the evil contraction called Nigeria. We talk about Lord Lugard creating Nigeria in 1914, and of course naming it Nigeria. And since that time, things have never been the same. Everything fell apart. The indigenous people have been marginalized. The indigenous people, it's all about stealing from the indigenous people. It's all about you having milk in your land that you can no longer drink. It's all about you having honey in your land, you cannot suck it. That is the essence of the evil contraction called Nigeria. And of course, why we watch the marginalization, why we watch the stealing going on, worst evil has come to play in our own land, and of course before our very eyes. That this evil contraption called Nigeria is now being ruled by an impostor from Sudan, for that matter, not even a white this time around, not even from Britain this time around. So it can only take an impostor to receive that kind of embarrassment. And of course, the legislators know that if it was Buhari, they would have some little respect for him, and maybe because he's from the north, or because he's a Fulani man. But what kind of respect do you expect legislators to give to an impostor from Sudan? The man, they know that this man is from Sudan, so you expect them to keep quiet and be clapping and be singing for him? No, that is the kind of embarrassment you should get, because he rightly deserve it. That is JUBRIL from Sudan, it's not Buhari.
All right, thank you very much. That is JUBRIL from Sudan. It's not Buhari. We'll keep saying it. And of course, you know, even after booing him, even after embarrassing him, I had expected him to react like the normal Buhari, or the old Buhari we know. I had expected, you know, I had expected a reaction right there in the house, but nothing. Even you needed to see Saraki just looking at him like, I'm still suspecting this man. You need to see the facial expression on Saraki.
Do you know that if it was the former Buhari, he would resign? The former Buhari cannot take such embarrassment. The former Buhari that we used to know, if it was Buhari, he would the same day return to his village. He would return to Douala. That is the kind of man he used to be. We knew him that yes, to a large extent, there are so many things that went wrong with him, and of course as a person. And of course we knew him to be a bad leader. We knew him to be a genocidist. We knew him to be a killer. And of course we knew him. But there are some things that he could not have taken as a person. You know, the former Buhari can't take that kind of embarrassment. If it had come to a point where he would be so embarrassed in the public, if it was the former Buhari, the Buhari we used to know, if it was the former Buhari, that same day he would return back. And of course, you look, you know, from Saraki, you should, if you observe that look, you understand that Buhari, he was actually looking clearly to see those features, because he will not claim he doesn't know what is happening. He doesn't claim, but he is actually beginning to look closely the differences that has been highlighted by Nnamdi Kanu. Remember that one of the areas Nnamdi Kanu highlighted was the earlobes, and that was why, if you watch the way Saraki was looking, he was looking directly, and of course he wasn't sitting too far from him. He was looking at the earlobes. So I expected Saraki to actually come out and say, yes, Nnamdi Kanu was right. Look at the earlobes, and look at this man there. It's not. And of course, it's not that he doesn't know that the man in Asorok is Buhari, because he's one of the top politicians you have in the evil contraction called Nigeria. But You see, it's just like painting words. It's just like managing to survive in an evil entity, in an evil contraption. And of course, most of them, all the political elites, just like those who have been charmed and caged and put into a jungle. And that is where you see them sitting there and watching. And you see, it takes the populace, it takes the common people to identify those issues that Nnamdi Kanu have said. And of course, Saraki is also watching closely, discovering that yes, Nnamdi Kanu was actually right. The earlobes of this JUBRIL from Sudan is not the same as the one of late Buhari, so he must have actually observed it.
All right, thank you very much. He has also observed it, and a lot of people have observed it. If you had watched his procession, you would have seen even the hair, very thick hair. You know, you look at the cap, then you look at everything, you find out that this is not Buhari. We've been saying it. Good, I think they are also saying the same thing. Okay, we'll have a video there we would like to display right now. There's a video by one engineer Galadima, so we'll just have to play that video. Let's hear him out. You know, people are speaking up. A lot of people are speaking up.
Yes, they must speak up. They have no option than to speak up because the international community are already aware of it. Anybody who is not speaking up is only trying to allow the evil to come and rest in his house. Because we are talking about double evil here. We are talking about Nigeria that was a problem that could not be fixed, that they tried to fix, that they tried to make a country, and more than 100 years they struggled to make Nigeria a country, but they are unable to do that. And there's another problem, the problem of you having JUBRIL to come and become the president of 200 million people, and of course you have an impostor, you have a double colonization. That is the problem. So they must speak up, because anybody who doesn't speak up would have the evil rest in his house. So some of them are speaking directly and some of them are speaking indirectly, but at the end of the day, they must all come out and of course openly say it. And of course that is what is happening. You see that what is everywhere you go today now, in Nigeria you go to, you discover that it is about JUBRIL and Buhari. So people are beginning to speak up.
All right, people are beginning to speak up, and of course we must keep setting the pace, you know, courtesy of the indigenous people of Biafra, because so many of them had known these, you know, but they try to pretend, they try not to say it. We knew when he returned, when they brought him, or when they imported him rather, we knew governors who said we must go, I want to go and have a handshake and then I will return to tell you if really this is where they actually went. They saw, but what could have you know, led them into being silent over it?
Do you know that most of them are just silent not because they don't know the truth, just because of their own personal interest? You know, sometimes people get when this Buhari issue came on board, they knew those who were going to say something. They knew those who were going to take steps. So they started working on them if they are enough. And that is why you see. Do you know that when he was in before they brought this evil back to Nigeria, what did they do? They invited key people. They were inviting them to London, and they will invite them and they will make them to go and say something. And of course you have, do you know that they invited almost all the key people, you know, playing certain roles, and that is why they were careful enough. They were inviting them to come and see. And they will go, and of course in confusion, because they were still working, they were still doing a lot of artworks. After coming back, they will tell you that yes, Buhari is in fact from being sick, because initially he was brain dead and he couldn't do anything. And you see them coming back sharing testimony that this man could even run, this man can do everything now. And of course he could only be laughing, he couldn't speak much, but you see him that he is healthy. So it becomes embarrassing that such people that have spoken such things before will now come and begin to explain. So the handlers of Buhari took time to work on the psyche of those key individuals. So they took their time, and of course it's not that the people don't know the truth, but they had worked on them so that they could conceal the evil, so that it will become a national thing, that even those who say it would not have any reason to say it. Some of them were indicted, some of them you see EFCC going after them all the time and telling them that, see, if you shake, and of course we know where we will throw you, you have issues here and there. So they were using a lot of methods, they were using a lot of systems, and of course they had already told them that, see, the country is in a very deep mess, because you know that the indigenous people of Biafra, That is just their headache, that we, the indigenous people of Biafra, have asked for a referendum. And of course, they remember that all the while they keep saying, pray for Nigeria, that Nigeria is in a very deep mess, something deep is happening, pray for Nigeria, something, we shouldn't lose our country. That is has always been their problem. So the case of concealing JUBRIL, of course, concealing it was done by the same people that have that keep dying, of course, concealing the evil contraction called Nigeria, just to make sure that Nigeria remains one. That is just their headache. So it's about making Nigeria one. So it's not that they don't know, but their interest is like, well, if they of course let the world know, if the spirit beings, the world get to know, and of course Biafra, it will become a credit on Biafra. So because they don't want the indigenous people of Biafra to be credited, that's why you see them keeping mute. So it's about concealing the evil, hiding the evil, and postponing the doomsday. But the truth about it is that we, the indigenous people of Biafra, are here. We are with the light, and the light is shining in darkness, and darkness cannot comprehend it. Whatever is going on in Asorok, wherever it is going on, the light from the kingdom of light, of course, Biafra, the rising sun, the land of the rising sun, is getting there, and we are getting every glimpse of it. So the evil cannot be hidden. We are here to expose it.
All right, thank you very much. This moment we'll be playing a video clip right there. You watch the video, and after that we'll come back and also analyze it. So stay tuned while the video plays.
The man I don't think is the Buhari me and Yinka used to. He may not be the JUBRIL of Sudan. Definitely, it's not the General Buhari that we used to know. I want to say publicly that him and his government are a disappointment to the Nigerian nation. And whatever roles played in making him what he is today is regrettable, and I hereby apologize. This is a very special occasion. Interaction of our presidential candidate with the civil society organizations in the country. Even though, when I look around, there are faces from the CSOs that I have not yet seen. I hope that there are not those that the government is using fabulous amount of monies to compromise. I was told, and I read in papers, that yesterday in the night, some comrades were taken to the villa, they put their price, and they were purchased like chicken. Are you ready to be one of those that will be purchased? If it is money or position that some of us want, we could have gotten that. But definitely, when we supported General Buhari, it wasn't because of money, because he hadn't money to buy any of us or give any of us. Yinka will bear me witness that we use our own personal resources to travel, crisscross the country, talk to those that he could never dream of reaching or associating with. And whoever you see with him today, it doesn't matter. When I say whosoever, I mean it. Whether it is Bola Tinubu, whether it is Amusu, whether it is Amechi, or whosoever that person is, we brought him into the fold. don't think it's the Buhari me and Yinka used to. He may not be the JUBRIL of Sudan. Definitely, it's not the General Buhari that we used to know. I want to say publicly that him and his government are a disappointment to the Nigerian nation. And whatever roles played in making him what he is today is regrettable, and I hereby apologize. This is a very special occasion. Interaction of our presidential candidate with the civil society organizations in the country. Even though, when I look around, there are faces from the CSOs that I have not yet seen. I hope that there are not those that the government is using fabulous amount of monies to compromise. I was told, and I read in papers, that yesterday in the night, some comrades were taken to the villa, they put their price, and they were purchased like chicken. Are you ready to be one of those that will be purchased? If it is money or position that some of us want, we could have gotten that. But definitely, when we supported General Buhari, it wasn't because of money, because he hadn't money to buy any of us or give any of us. Yinka will bear me witness that we use our own personal resources to travel, crisscross the country, talk to those that he could never dream of reaching or associating with. And whoever you see with him today, it doesn't matter. When I say whosoever, I mean it. Whether it is Bola Tinubu, whether it is Amusu, whether it is Amechi, or whosoever that person is, we brought him into the fold.
It's daily news analysis on Biafra television. And of course, we just finished watching the video clip of Buba Ladima, because who was he's now among the reformed APC, and of course you heard him clearly. Mazuraki heard all he said. First of all, he said this is not the Buhari I and Yinka used to know. What does he mean by that?
Yes, he said something. If you watch, he said this is not, he said definitely. He used that word. Say he doesn't want to give it to the indigenous people of Biafra. That is why I say he may not be the JUBRIL of Sudan.
But definitely.
Knowingly that, yes, that if he had said that, then he had given it to Nnamdi Kanu. That is not the problem. We are not actually looking for who screwed it. But the question is the man in Asrok Buhari? And he answered the question. He said, definitely this is not the Buhari that because when you talk about he used to know, this man is one of the strongest pillars of northern politics today. So you need to understand this Galadima we are talking about here. Because you see, the APC you see today, this man has been there since 2011 with APC. and he knows Buhari very, very well. When you talk about the late Buhari, he knows him very, very well. So coming out to tell you definitely that this one in Asorok is not. So I don't know what else people are waiting for. So he has answered the question. The first question is, who is the man in Asorok? And he has answered it. And he that knew Buhari very, very well, because this is a very good friend of Buhari. And of course, politically, he is one of the political engineers you have in the north. And of course, from Ahmadu Bello University, he is one of those who are trying to step into the shoes, of course, of late Ahmadu Bello. So this man today, Galadima, is telling you that, see, the man in Asorok is definitely not Buhari, because he knew Buhari very well. So the Buhari he used to know, of course, that it was in APC that when Buhari contested the other time, 2011, of course, before you talk about the one of 2015, there are so many of them that started following Buhari since 2015. But this man was one of those engineers who had been, who was at the grassroots, of course, projecting Buhari since 2011. So he said that Buhari that we used to know is not this one in Asorok. So he has answered the question on definite terms. He said this one is definitely not the Buhari I used to know. So the question has been answered.
Okay, thank you very much. But let's look at the word may not. He said, according to him, said, not the Buhari me and Yinka used to know, but may not be the JUBRIL from Sudan, but definitely not Buhari. So let's look at that. May not be the JUBRIL from Sudan.
Yes. Because when he's saying, using the word may not, you know, he doesn't want to come on under definite terms.
Okay.
Because when he says that, it means all the credit has been given to Nnamdi Kanu. Simple. Because we know that Nnamdi Kanu said the man in Asorok, one, is not Buhari. That is the first statement Nnamdi Kanu made. Then Nnamdi Kanu also went ahead to tell you who is in Asorok. That is another aspect. So the first aspect is, who is the man in Asorok? Then he has observed that this man is not Buhari. Then secondly, Nnamdi Kanu wants an extra mile of digging out who actually is the man sitting, parading himself, the impostor in Asorok. Who is he? Nnamdi Kanu did all that, went to the extent of bringing out the true man in Asorok, telling you this man is JUBRIL and he's from Sudan. So, of course, Galadima doesn't want to come to that point of giving all the credit to Nnamdi Kanu, because that's just where we need to look at why he doesn't want to give it to Biafra, why he doesn't want to give it to Nnamdi Kanu, because, of course, his role in northern politics, Nigerian politics. But the truth about it is that he has acknowledged that this is not the man in Asorok is not Buhari. So, it may not be. He's saying he may not be, meaning that he is JUBRIL. Because he knows the man in Asorok. If he knows it's not Buhari, then he would have told us who is the man in Asorok. So he said he may not be. He may not be, meaning that he is, because it's a probability. If he may not be the JUBRIL from Sudan, he would have gone ahead, because he knows it's not Buhari. He would have also told us who is the man in Asorok. So Nnamdi Kanu still stands vindicated, because the man in Asorok is JUBRIL and not Buhari. Of course, he has confirmed this is not Buhari. Then he will fail to tell us who is in Asorok. So we still give it to Nnamdi Kanu. There is no other evidence. Nobody has been able to disprove the fact that the man in Asorok is not JUBRIL. So, if he knew that, yes, this is not Buhari, he would have been gone to the extent of telling us who is the man in Asorok. So, Nnamdi Kanu still stands vindicated.
All right, thank you very much. He also said, whatever role I have played in bringing him in, whatever I say, I apologize. What does it mean? You know, whatever role he has played.
Yes.
In what aspect? Is there a confession he is trying to make?
Exactly. If you would read if you listen to it, you discover that he is simply making a clear confession. A clear confession, because you know that when Nnamdi Kanu is exposed the man in Asorok, we are digging out actually who is responsible, because those who brought the man in Asorok, all those must be jailed, and he's coming out to bear his own soul. You know, you understand, it's not a, you know, like in the past there are people that will say, if I tell you, if I say, and of course we keep saying it. What is that thing that Rocha Sokrocha and his lies want to tell us about the man in Asorok, that they are telling you, if I say what I know in Asorok? So I think that this time around, Rochas and the rest of them cannot keep their mouth shut, because somebody else is bold enough to say that the man in Asorok is not Buhari. Yes, somebody is bold enough. Galadima is bold enough to tell you clearly. So that thing you think you are hiding, that thing you think you used to, of course, he has been part of the system. Remember that Galadima is not yesterday's man. He has been there in APC. He knows all the secrets in APC. He is one of those who believe that yes, the power should belong to North. Let them organize the North. Let them put the North together. Let it be as it used to be under Ahmed Bello. That is the kind of man Galadima is. So he is of course, at the forefront, making sure that he's coming out clearly because he still believes that the northern face should still be saved. He still believes that yes, let us separate some group of people from ourselves and still move ahead with the northern politics. So that is why you see him coming out to bear his own soul, and of course telling you clearly that see, we have been in the system. We have planned a lot of things because since 2011, he's telling you that he has played a fundamental role. You know, he's mentioning Yinka. Remember that is what the northern elites always do. When they are walking, they would look for somebody in the Yoruba land. Of course, he's talking about Yinka. Yinka, we know that Yinka is talking about a Yoruba person. So they will always run to the west and pick one man. And of course, when they are doing it, they will tell you they are doing it for national interest. And that is it. Just like you see them running with Akintola, because it was Akintola actually that you see him running against Awolowo. So that was how it used to be under Ahmed Bello and former Prime Minister of Nigeria. So that is it. So he is running with today is Yinka, and he's telling you that we are there from the beginning. We projected Buhari, we've laid the foundation, we brought who and who in, and of course we planned the whole system, we grew it, we planned the whole political arena, we planned the whole deal, and we grew it, and we kept pushing it, and it's a disappointment that what they actually planned didn't materialize the way they thought it was going to be. They were actually thinking that yes, they were going to make it something big, something unique, something at least they would be able to deceive the world, deceive the gullible ones, that there is democracy in Nigeria. There we are thinking that they were going to do something, and of course you see that sometimes, you know, man proposes, and of course God sometimes disposes, and of course nature is worked against them, and of course unlike what they thought, that from day one Buhari began to show that real character of who he is. You know, we know Buhari for something. He is an ardent, of course, hard man. You know, when you talk about Buhari that was used to be, Buhari, they brought him because of his nature, of his of course we know Buhari as one kind man that when he wants to kill, he kills with impunity. Whatever he wants to do, he had that kind of power. He had that aura of killing, that aura of wickedness, of tyranny. It was all over him. So he was known. And when you talk about Buhari, don't just talk about Buhari. You must remember, you call General Muhammadu Buhari. That is it. The name was so powerful because it was a name identified with tyranny. It was a name identified with killing, just like the one we used to know about those who killed in the past, just like Herod in the Bible. That is the kind of person Buhari is. So they brought him in because they felt there should be sanity, because they wanted to inflict fear on the rest of the people, because they wanted the northern politics to be strong, and that was why they looked for a man. Of course, we are talking about the political engineers in the north. Look for a man who could fit into this role, and they brought in Buhari. According to his testimony, the Buhari that they brought in, of course, they are, you know, you know what it means. That is it. So he's not apologizing. This is not actually what we thought. This is not actually what we planned. Things went wrong somewhere, and he's coming out to apologize because he is also planning again. That is it. So he's simply trying to tell you that, see, what the real one today, what is happening today, of course, was a hijack of what we were doing. So, of course, I don't know to the point where he followed and stopped, and there was a divide, because there seemed to be a division between those of them operating from Sudan, and of course with the Sudanese, and of course those of them in the north. So there's a 50-50 power struggle today between the Fulanese and the Sudanese. So that is why you see him mentioning that, see, there are faces there I don't know, I cannot identify. This is a core northerner who has been there in northern politics, who knows who is who in the north, and he's telling you that those men there today, I can't really identify them, I don't know who they are. So telling you that, see, this is not the system we brought. This is not the APC we created. This is not the everything. So confirming every word of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu that something has gone wrong. There's something fishing, and he is there bearing his also because he has a new plan. That is simply what you see him trying to do.
All right, thank you very much. What do you think made him talk about those who have been purchased like chicken?
Of course, talking about those who have been purchased like chicken, like, you know, it is painful. You know, don't you see that you know, most of the time when we talk about these things, there are things that you hear about. You need to pinch yourself and ask yourself whether are these things really happening in broad daylight. We are talking about an evil entity where you have more than 200 million people dying of hunger. You know, you talk about masses, you talk about children who slept last night without food. And now you talk about some people, you know, he is talking about those who know what is happening. Those who want to go and loot their own share. You know, it's about looting. You know, those who have known the truth and they are concealing the evil. And what do? They go to Asorok. And once they visit Asorok and they smile with the man in Asorok, that's all you need to do if you want to be rich today in the evil contraction called Nigeria. You don't need to work hard. Remember, he went there and said that, yes, Nigerians are lazy, and that is the JUBRIL talking, the Sudanese, how he rated Nigeria. He said the youth there, that the youth he saw in Nigeria are lazy, and of course they are illiterate. That is how JUBRIL rated you. That is how he rated.
Exactly.
So if he found some of them who would come and smile at him, you just need to appear in Asorok and smile at him, then you have got some money. That is why you see that he confirming also. Galadim is telling you that our people, most of the people that you see today that are talking about Buhari are those who are going there to be bought like chicken. You talk about a full-fledged man, a man you respect. Sometimes some of you call them political elites, going to be bought like chicken. Just the way you buy Christmas chicken. Now, of course, you go there, they give a bag of money. You know, when you are talking about bought like chicken, people think it's 5,000 or 10,000. No, they are giving them bags of money and they are going with it, and they have been bought like chicken. And the next day, you see them telling you that we support Buhari for 2019. You see them coming out to tell you, those are those you see moving every day, and they parade themselves and they say they are political elites. So they are the ones being purchased.
You know, when we talk about those who have been purchased like chicken, we have we have more of them here in Biafra land, because those are those ones who will never, you know, they keep speaking from both sides of their mouth.
Of course, today you talk about the controversy from Enugu.
Adoration.
Yes, because he was there. He received the first badge of the money. And of course, when he campaigned against Goodluck Jonathan, people he was coming under the platform of prophecy. You know that Nigerians, when you talk about Christianity here, it's a different thing. Christianity in Africa, of course, came to Africa and it became a different thing. And of course, people will just say, like, this is the end of the year. They will come out and they tell you I have prophecy. It's not any prophecy. It is they have received a lot of money and they are moved by the power of the money. You know, money speaks. You know, money is power, and enough money, they say, is enough power. So he becomes intoxicated spiritually. You see that the amount of money will motivate him, that he becomes so powerful that in 2015 you saw him back coming out to tell you that he has a new year prophecy, and that prophecy was that you see that there is a man coming, and this man is the savior, and his name was Buhari. So he campaigned for Buhari, and this time around you see him going. Of course, we knew that P2B was there the other day, and there have been a lot of embarrassment and a lot of apologies and all that. Why is it so? Because there is still somebody to be bought like chicken. There is still somebody to be bought like chicken. Today, you talk about our own political elites. Remember that they are still contesting. Of course, look at P2B. Of course, we don't support PDP. We don't support any of them. But look at what happened. Most of them today cannot still publicly support P2B. Why would they do so? Because they have been bought like chicken the same way also. So, you see, money is speaking. Money is speaking, and that is why when you say I will say, oh, they will look at your face. They know how much they are paid. The likes of Richard Okorocha will say, if I tell you what I know, it's in Asorok, and he wouldn't say it. Why wouldn't he say it? Because they know that they have pinned him somewhere. So he will talk about those. Most of them, in Biafra land, most of them, they want to be rich quick, and a good number of those that call themselves political elites, that people think that yes, they have got godfathers, and they'll go to Asorok and they are bought like chicken. That is the way you are being addressed. That your political elites go to Abuja, and of course those you respect, those you worship, those you fall down for, they are going to Abuja to be bought by chicken, by the Sudanese government, and that is why you are being recolonized. When you're talking about the man in Asorok, you're talking about recolonization. It's no longer that one that the British did. We knew how our fathers those days, of course, we accuse them of carrying the white man on the head and bringing them back to your community. No, it's no longer the whites this time around. It is a Sudanese. It is the Sudanese, and of course, strange faces are there in executive council, and you don't know who is who again, because sometimes the Muslims, they bear common names, and you think that they are from the north. No, some of them, most of the people running the government today are strangers. And remember that the Mieti Allah group said it. They said they are going to invite their brothers and sisters all over West Africa. They said it, and of course we keep telling you that the government you see today is the government of the Mieti Allah. They are the ones speaking, and they made it clear that they were going to import their brothers and sisters from all over West Africa, and that is exactly what you see them doing. That is why you see strange faces that Galadima, the man who knew who is who in the north, cannot identify those of them who are in the government today. And you see say you are a Nigerian, you see say you have a government, you see say you have a president. That is the evil before our very eyes. Our eyes have seen evil, and this is it, and we must save our own soul. We must save our own heads. They have begun to speak, and of course we expect more confessions in the next days.
Okay, thank you very much. Of course, let's also look at the next headline we have here. Interesting, the contraction is really crumbling. Okay, the next one we have here, which JUBRIL senators exchange banters over Buhari's alleged impostor. I will have to read from what we have here. Lawmakers at the Nigerian Senate on Thursday exchanged banters over JUBRIL and alleged impostor President Muhammadu Buhari. Recently, the social media has been awash with posts claiming that Mr. Buhari is dead and now being represented by a certain JUBRIL from Sudan. Mr. Buhari had to publicly restate his identity and deny that he was JUBRIL. Thursday's banter started when the presiding officer, okeke'war'africa, asked the chairman, Senate Committee on Tertiary Institutions and Third Fund, Barao JUBRIL, to read a report of his committee. He soon realized that Mr. JUBRIL was not around and would be represented by another senator, Binta Gaba. Which of the JUBRIL? Mr. Okeke'war'africa asked when Mrs. Gaba signaled to read the report. The question elicited laughter in the chamber. Why forcing a response from Mrs. Gaba? We are aware of the JUBRIL you people are trying to force, but this is Binta, not JUBRIL, he said. In seconding the motion to consider the report, Shehu Sani also referred to Mrs. Gaba as JUBRIL. He said, I stand to second the motion being moved by JUBRIL Binta Masi Gaba. Before presenting the report, Mrs. Gaba went again to the JUBRIL issue. For the avoidance of doubt, my name is Binta Masi Gaba, not JUBRIL. So you see, I think these are supposed lawmakers who are supposed to see to the affair of the country or the nation, whatever they call it, but making mockery of the situation at hand, a very complicated issue. What do you think?
You see, when the country you call a Nigeria is already a mockery, everything becomes mockery. Everything in Nigeria is mockery. You have been saying you are Nigerian. Don't you see how you are mocked abroad? That is it. Even here, the indigenous people are not proud to be called Nigerians. And of course, we, the indigenous people of Biafra, you dare not call me a Nigerian. What is it that makes me, should make you call me a Nigerian? Of course, I'm not a Nigerian, I'm a Biafran. The same thing you see that is going on there. You see, these people have known that everything is now mockery. And they are now mocking themselves. They're now mocking the situation. And of course, they have become mockery to themselves, because these are men who were supposed to stand up and face the truth. And of course, be serious with it, because we are talking about a very serious issue. We are talking about the worst evil that has happened on earth. There is no evil as worse as what is happening today in the evil contraction called Nigeria. This is the worst evil that has happened on earth, because you are talking about killings. Why people are being killed? You knew how many people have been killed this year, and they say Nigeria is not in a civil war, and it's not fighting a civil war. But you see, go to countries where they are fighting civil wars, check how many people have been killed. Then come to the place that is not fighting civil war, check how many people have been killed. I mean, the cases that was reported, not those that didn't, were not reported, because most of the killings were killed. And of course, when 100 people would die, they will report 5, they will report 2. How we are talking about, even with their own records, still go and check the records they have with the record of countries that are fighting civil war. You don't have it, because there is no president that can account for it, because the Senate are not there to do their job, because the judiciary have failed. Everything about the evil contraption is failed, and of course that is why it's now being used as an experiment of a failed state. Harvard University is doing a nice job, and I hope they will finish their report and publish it. They were, of course, doing projects about using Nigeria as experimentation of a failed state. I hope I would read that project report, what it's all about, what they have actually come to discover. Did they actually get to the root of the discovery, how Nigeria became a failed state? Because Nigeria today is even a mockery to himself. The judiciary is now going there, it becomes a seat of mockery. That is it. Those who think we are going to stand and fight for you, and of course talk about your right, talk about your what you should, how life should be, are those now, of course, playing with serious issues. We are talking about JUBRIL, and who is responsible for handling the case of the man in Asorok if the judiciary don't stand up to it? Because we are supposed to influence the executive. They were also supposed to influence the legislatures. We are supposed to influence the judiciary. They were supposed to stand as strong pillars of the people, because when you talk about legislators, you're talking about representation of all the ethnic groups, representation of people from different ethnic groups there in Abuja. But all of them seem to be mute, and are they afraid? Were they charmed? They look like people who have charmed and caged in a hall or something, because the chamber in Abuja is like one who's for people who have been charmed and put together and caged to make mockery and caged to, it's not a comic issue, but we are talking about serious issue. We are talking about the worst evil before our very eyes. That you are talking about, we have suffered from colonial era, and of course, when we are looking for independence, our fathers fought to be independent. They still tricked us and gave us something. They thought we were independent, but that was another colonization. We were now being ruled in proxy by the Fulanis, and that was our worst situation. We have experienced more death. We have experienced worse situations. We have experienced worse poverty. We have experienced the worst after that. And of course, since 1960 up until now, you now have a Sudanese after the expiration of Nigeria. The Fulanese, of course, we talk about the Islamization agenda that became that, but that is even a little issue. We are not talking about Sudanese, running 50-50, trying to, of course, share the little crumb that we are talking about that is not even enough for the people. So you talk about some group of people going to invite the Sudanese to come and join them, and you have strange faces in Asorok. You see people who are supposed to be legislators are joking over it. The man in Asorok, is he not JUBRIL? Should the right thing not be said? When you make mention of JUBRIL, it should be clear that we are referring to the man in Asorok. You should say it simple and clear, and the people will understand what you're talking about. Because we're talking about millions of lives that have been mortgaged, that have been sold into tyranny, that have been sold into, and the worst part of it is that people are still dying. Last night, some people were kidnapped. Last night, some people died. Some people are dying out of starvation. You talk about people suffer and they collapse in the streets and die. You are talking about kidnapping. You are talking about armed robbery. That, of course, today we knew that is no longer news in the evil contraction called Nigeria. But beyond it, we talk about terrorism, which has been masterminded by the Islamization agenda, those who plan the Islamization agenda, and they sustain it with everything in them. And the worst of it is that the political elites, those who you call political elites, you either going there to be bought as a chicken, or maybe you are part of the articulators, those who feel that yes, let's go and vote them out and continue the evil thing. That is the worst scenario we have seen on earth. We have a complex issue. We have issues that no other thing can handle it if not a referendum. The international community should step in, because there is nothing that can save the evil contraption called Nigeria. The senators are making a mockery of it. The presidency is the worst of it, and of course, is it the judiciary that are not that they say their hands are tied. In the judiciary,
even the judiciary this time around, the whole thing, there's division in the house. You could imagine Malami coming up to say, I never supported the president on the rearrest of Dasuki. In fact, I was one who enhanced the release of Nnamdi Kanu. The Malami we knew that was, that was hell bent on doing whatever the president said.
That is it. So you see, there's a very big confusion.
There is
a very big confusion. So the question now is, who is running the affairs of the evil contraction? That is the Sudanese they imported. So if you watch what is happening, you discover that you have the Sudanese there running the evil contraption. So and the people are joking over it, that you have machineries from West Africa that the Fulani herdsmen have imported, and of course the Mieti Allah, those who have planned these killings that have continued, and of course are there organizing it, and you're being ruled by strangers, and people are joking with it. Is it a joking matter? This is something very serious. The worst evil on earth. There's never an evil like this, because attention has been removed from those who have been killed by terrorist group. Of course, the Boko Haram killing now is no longer reported. The last time they were reported, the press they for the press. And as I'm talking to you, people are still dying in the north, in the hands of terrorist groups. And you say there's no civil war in Nigeria. There's no civil war going on. But more people are dying than they die in civil war. So what is actually going on? If not that the international community seem to be enjoying what is happening. Because they have said something. They said let the indigenous people handle it. And I don't know. We the indigenous people of Biafra that have reason to stand and speak for our rights. Why is it that the international community still doesn't give us that right recognition? Because the United Nations, we are supposed to have given us our full recognition. Then we can stand and defend ourselves and of course save our souls from this evil. Why would such evil be going on? You said the indigenous people should handle it, and we the indigenous people of Biafra are here raising our hands. At least if there is a storm and people are dying, and of course maybe in the Atlantic Ocean and there's a rescue team and somebody is raising his hand, you should come to the rescue of that man who is raising his hand while they are searching for the rest that had gone down deep blue sea. So you have a situation where I suspect that the international community, I suspect that the United Nations are really enjoying the evil going on. I suspect, because if not, why wouldn't they give the full recognition to the indigenous people of Biafra, at least for taking a step, at least for raising our hands up, at least for making effort, and we remain harmless, we are the most peaceful, and we have been talking about it, exposing the evils, and this evil is happening, and the international community, and of course the British government that we used to know. In the past, the British government used to be at the forefront for fights for human rights. But today, what is going on because of the oil in Biafra land? And that is it. That's why 200 million people, deaths. People are falling like chicken, and others are being bought like chicken. And the world said the indigenous people of Biafra should solve it. The indigenous people should solve it. The indigenous people, and we the indigenous people of Biafra are raising our hands. Why not give us that recognition? That is the question of the day. That is why you see there's mockery in the House of Assembly, because they are mocking themselves. There's no other way forward. They go there today to make fun, of course, to catch fun. After catching fun, they will share, of course, take their own allocation, take their own money, and get back home. There is nobody to fight for common people, if not the indigenous people of Biafra.
All right, thank you very much. Let's go back to that of Galadima. Can we look at what really gave him the spunk? Why was he so bold to come out on television? We have the NTA, was the channels, television, TVC, and all the rest of them. A lot of them were there, and he was so bold to say it.
Yes, something gave him the boldness because of his assurance. He knows the truth. He knows it. And let me tell you something. You see, one thing that people don't know about the Northerners, if they want to do something, they don't care about their lives. That is why you see them they have continued to dominate. A Northerner would, once he knows the truth and he wants to say it, he will put his life at stake. So it's not like most of these ones that have been bought like chicken. That is one thing you must give him credit for. And of course, I give my respect to him as a person, because he takes the responsibility, because that is what, you know, a core Muslim, that is how Muslims behave. If you see, forget about what is you see that is happening in the north. Most of them there are not Muslims. It's just politics. Core Muslims stand for the truth. That is what Islam is all about. Core Muslim that you know stands for the truth, even in the face of politics. So what gave him that boldness is because he knows the truth. He knows the man in Asarok is not Buhari. And of course, coming out to say it, he wants to actually save his own future and his own political career. And of course, we have said it. I said it yesterday.
But don't you think there are some politicians, some northern politicians who could be behind him as well?
You see, being behind and being with him, yes, there are so many people. But why don't those who are still behind him to come out and say it the way he's saying it?
Okay.
So he is responsible for what he said. Those of them who are behind him are behind. They are somewhere pushing him. They are not coming out. So he is saving his own soul. And of course, any day, any time that video will be played, he will say, I said it. So that is it. So there are so many of them who must, of course, stand with him or not, be behind him or with him. But they are not as bold as he is to come out and say the truth.
All right, thank you very much. At this moment, we'll be going on a break, and when we return, the lines will be open for you to make your call. Very important. You call in to make your contribution. Once again, thank you for joining us. We'll be right back.
The man I don't think is the Buhari me and Yinka used to. He may not be the JUBRIL of Sudan. Definitely, it's not the General Buhari that we used to know. I want to say publicly that him and his government are a disappointment to the Nigerian nation. And whatever roles played in making him what he is today is regrettable, and I hereby apologize. This is a very special occasion. Interaction of our presidential candidate with the civil society organizations in the country. Even though, when I look around, there are faces from the CSOs that I have not yet seen. I hope that there are not those that the government is using fabulous amount of monies to compromise. I was told, and I read in papers, that yesterday in the night, some comrades were taken to the villa, they put their price, and they were purchased like chicken. Are you ready to be one of those that will be purchased? If it is money or position that some of us want, we could have gotten that. But definitely, when we supported General Buhari, it wasn't because of money, because he hadn't money to buy any of us or give any of us. Yinka will bear me witness that we use our own personal resources to travel, crisscross the country, talk to those that he could never dream of reaching or associating with. And whoever you see with him today, it doesn't matter. When I say whosoever, I mean it. Whether it is Bola Tinubu, whether it is Amusu, whether it is amateur or whosoever that person is, we brought him into the fold.
Welcome back. You're still watching Sunrise Daily News Analysis on Biafra Television. And of course, we are talking about the man in Asarok. We'll keep exposing the man in Asarok. In case you're just joining us, please ensure you still share the program. It's important. And this is time for you to call in and make your contribution, whatever you think or whatever contribution you have. Call us on Skype, call us on Facebook, call us on WhatsApp, and our direct line. It's really, really important you call in to make your own contribution. Very, very important for benefit of those who are listening on radio. Our WhatsApp number is +234 905 660 8583. Our WhatsApp line once again +234 905 660 8583. And our direct phone line is 070 203 53706. I repeat it, 070 203 53706. That's our direct line. You call in to make your own contribution. It's very, very important you make your contribution. Let's know what your take is. We'll keep exposing the man in Asarok. And of course, Buba Galadima has come up to say it clearly. He said the man there is not the Buhari I and Yinka used to know. May not be the JUBRIL from Sudan, but definitely not General Buhari. Those are his words, and you ask yourself, may not be the man from Sudan, may not be JUBRIL from Sudan. So who is the person? If you know it's not President Buhari, who is the person? And of course, you hear them during when he came to address the NAS. You heard a lot of them shouting "Parawo, Ole, Parawo." You can imagine addressing the president in that manner. And the president went as far as advising them to stop. He told them, he said, "You are live on worldwide and international television. You need to comport yourself."
Of course, he knew that the world had been watching. And you see, the worst part of it is that you see him all the time. All the time you see him addressing anybody. He will go abroad and address the people. And of course, why is he doing that? He wants to, the real people, he doesn't care about the 200 million people. He knew that these people are already in bondage. To live in Nigeria is to live in bondage. So he doesn't really care. Those who are handling him must have told him, see, don't bother yourself about these people. Bother yourself about the international community. Bother yourself about the whites, because they know what is happening and they are watching to see how you are going to handle this issue. So that is why you see, when you think you're a Nigerian, you're not treated as human being. And of course, our leader said it, that Nigeria is an animal kingdom. Nigeria is a zoo. And of course, it's a zoo. When you look at a zoo, the animals, they are tamed. The animals in the zoo are tamed. But you see, I look at it that Nigeria is not just a zoo. Nigeria is a jungle where you have all kinds of wild beings in the jungle. And of course, he's interested in the international community. He's looking out there because he knows that right there, that is where the real people that have been observing, because they know that blacks, as our leader have said, will never think.
All right, we have a call on Skype. Hello, call on Skype.
Yeah. Good day.
Thank you very much, Pastor Wise. You're welcome.
And Mazi Oriako.
Good morning.
I just called in this very morning to applaud you all for your indulgence and for your efforts to try a kind of analyze the zoo. Because right now the zoo has become an object of mockery worldwide. But first and foremost, we have to thank our leader, Nnamdi Kanu. Sometimes I began to wonder, what manner of man is this very guy? Why I asked that very question was that in his last episode of analyzing the JUBRIL, he said from that very moment that, number one, he won't appear again into international a kind of audience. Again, that's number one. Then number two, that he will no longer open his hands to wave anymore. And we saw that happen even in National Assembly. Then when you watch the man's mouth, go and watch the video very well. When you watch the man's mouth very well, when they were singing National Assembly, the man was saying a different thing altogether that is not in line with the national anthem. And again, when he wants to wave, he used his covering to cover the marks of his palm. That is to tell you that what Galadima was saying is in line with, he just want to inculcate, a kind of confirm what our leader Nnamdi Kanu said. But they will not come out to tell you that we are giving kudos to him, because they are the inner circles. They are the people that brought and engineered the whole thing, and now the whole mess has just backfired on them. You see them right now, they are wordless. That is, they don't have any word. They are speechless. Whatever thing they are saying right now is trying to amend the mistake that has caused the derailment and the dissolutions of that country. And whatever thing they say right now will work against them. So for them coming out to tell us this blah 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 that, no, they just mess it up. All we are saying is Biafra, and they are helping us, because our leader said it in 2015 that Buhari will be the man who gave us Biafra. He said that good Lord Jonathan will not assume the seat anymore, that Buhari will assume the office, and he will be the man that will give us Biafra. And that is exactly what is happening right now. Let me just tell you, this man called Nnamdi Kanu, our leader, I am beginning to wonder if really that guy is a human being. I'm telling you, because what baffles me most was that this man will no longer open his arm to wave, and it happens like that. Even international, even when people saw it on just, they were blabbing, saying that this is Photoshop. Now they can see it openly on the video where he uses thumb, the thumb over his palm. It's not an irony. Yet people are still saying what. Let me just tell you, the war has not yet started. Those very people singing, the Nigerian media call it political parties war. That is APC versus PDP, but it's beyond that. Very soon, you will see all manner of weapons in that very place. You will see weapons in that National Assembly, and you see a lot of things happening, because there is war coming, and Biafra is the only solution. If all our Igbo brothers and whatever that have sold themselves out to houses, it's better for them right now to come back to their senses, because we'll say to go. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Of course, it's so set to go. Yeah, it's set to go. Really, of course, our leader said it. He even said after that broadcast, he wouldn't wave his hands again. You needed to see the new style of waving of hands in the, during the NASA meeting. Hello, call on WhatsApp. Call on WhatsApp. Can you hear me? Okay, we lost the call. All right, so you need to see the kind of wave. Yes. He tried to cover the palm print.
Don't worry, in the next years you see new designs of waving of hands, new designs of everything. You know, inventions. This is how inventions take place.
Exactly.
You know, because sometimes you start seeing them in T-shirts. Some companies are trying to actually take some pictures. So you see them. But in the next years, you see a lot of T-shirts will be printed. You see them bringing, and Nigerians will buy it and be wearing, and they will know that that's actually all that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have been saying. You know, they are actually creating business for the international community. So when these things are happening, you know, a new style of waving hands, just with covering your real palm, and that is it. So very soon you see it, and people wouldn't know what they are investing in. That is actually the evil that took place in their land, because new creations are being made, new ways of waving hands, new ways of talking, new way of appearing in the public, and that is it.
Right, color WhatsApp. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, good morning from here. Welcome to the program. Caller, what's up? Are you there? Oh, too bad we lost that call. I think that's a network issue. That's what you get from an epileptic from an epileptic country, whatever entity. Hello, call on the phone.
Good morning.
Thank you very much. Good morning. What's the name?
My name is Friday. Let's come and bless you. And Mr. Odiaku.
Thank you so much.
Please, my own contribution this morning. I want to thank you people. And make a loan, Puma. And call one can go away as soon as you met so that I will come and I'll be here now, Zoo, Nigeria. If you watch what is happening now, you see that Buhari can no longer open his palm. Look at what's happened from the National Assembly. You see the man cover, use one finger and cover that in palm so that people will not really notice him. And say, let God bless Nnamdi Kanu.
You see?
Let God bless Nnamdi Kanu. To showing us who we are. To destroying the zoo. Please, my dear brother, my dear sisters, I want you people to really help us again. They tell us what to do because where this thing is happening, it's really happened. I said, I'm here to buy an arrow. I remember my day, not at the Charlie Moon, my house. I'm not going to see how them Pam. Look, I'm going to some promotion now. Pam. That's what is happening for this zoo called Nigeria. Please, I want to ask you people, I want to ask IPOB worldwide. We Biafran, which is here. Give him so like I mean. So I do riots so that also. Because I know that when we start that, they will run. Only simple, small things what we are doing, they are threats. That's why I want you people to dress us, to tell us what to do, and we will do that. That's my own contribution this morning.
Thank you very much.
Because
you see, thank you very much. Of course, our leader will be the one to tell us what to do. For now, all we keep doing is unmasking the man in Nassau Rock, and that is what you also keep doing. Tell people there is not going to be any election. Call on WhatsApp. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Thank you very much. Good morning. What's the name you are calling from?
My name is Tukwamata. I'm calling from Germany. I'm from Mbaichi. I won't be to be precise in Imo province.
You're welcome.
I thank you, my sister, and Bright. You guys are doing a wonderful job. As for the topic we have this morning, there is something the so-called politicians are meant to say, and the so-called elite need to understand. They're following. Those people are evil, and they are chameleons. They should learn from what happened to Chastello. They were all in support of Chastello when he was unleashing the men. They were all in to place with him, using helicopter and private jets, transporting and producing. But when it came to face the music, when they see that the music is hot, they all abandoned him, and he is today answering that crime alone. But he did not commit it alone. He did it with a lot of British mercenaries. Where are those British mercenaries? They are pumping champagne while he's lavishing in jail. That is one thing black people fail to understand. In these animals, these people called the British are using them. You think it's like in Nigeria. You know, in Nigeria, he does anything and get away with it. And that is why I keep advocating for IPOB. We are not going to spare all these people who are directly or indirectly contributing to the death of our people. Because one thing with our people is they believe that they can get away with almost everything. And that's why you see the masses of Nigeria helpless, the so-called Nigerians helpless to do anything. Because at the end of the day, they know that nothing is going to happen. But this one now is different because it has concerned the international community. They are going to hunt the day down. And all those people, those collaborators, if they don't take time, they will all wind up like Castello. They do the need for now. Thank you very much. That's all I have.
Thank you very much. Of course, it's right.
Of course.
We have a caller there. Hello, caller on the phone.
Hello, good morning.
Thank you. Good morning. What's the name you are calling from?
My name is Onyebo. I'm calling from Abakaleke. what is not Biafran land.
Okay, you're welcome.
I thank you all for what you're doing in that studio to restore Biafra. It is not an easy task. I pray that you will help all of us to achieve it in Jesus' name.
You see?
Let me just continue to say this. I want to correct something. People are saying that Nnamdi Kanu opened our eyes. He did not open our eyes. He did more than that. We have been seeing these things happening for a long time. But the problem was who will say it? Who will bail the cat? So Nnamdi Kanu came and bailed the cat and held the bull by the horns. He did more than open our eyes. And that is why I will always support him till I die. He is my true leader. He has that courage to do so. What others could not do, he did it. He put his life on the line. Who has ever done that? Family members on the line, everybody. In fact, he did more than that. And I thank him for having such courage to do so. There are certain things again, people call pastors. Not every pastor is against Biafra. I know that the people that are praying for Biafra day and night, and they are pastors. Some have even said that they want Biafra to come today and tomorrow. They are doing their own, and it's not everybody that supports the election in Nigeria to start with. I, for once, since 1999, I didn't vote in this so-called stupid country called Nigeria. 1999, I stopped voting because I saw what has been going on. I'm sorry to say this, I participated in that election in 1999, and I saw how they rig election. They don't vote, they select. They select and they manipulate. So how can I be in such a country? It's not possible. So that's why I support Biafra from now. If you like, put a gun on my head, I will still say it. I like this country, I like this Biafra, and let it come to pass. My dream is that it will come to pass one day. I have packed my things in my door. I've packed my things still spiritually and physically at times. Anytime I hear Biafra, I will now unpack my things to a new country. And that is what I am doing God and asking God to give us. May God help us in this way in Jesus' name.
You see, thank you very much. Call on
May God
WhatsApp.
bless all of you there.
Hello, call on WhatsApp.
Hello.
Yeah, good morning from here. What's the name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, good morning. My name is Ibaruchi from, I'm calling from Italy, but I am from Enugu State in Ihamufu, Isuzu local government.
You're welcome. Go ahead.
Okay. Now, I'm thanking the whole people in Biafra land for this struggle, and let them not relent. Let them continue, because the whole world are watching us, and we too are watching them. And what we need and what we are begging for the whole world to do for us, the favor is to give us referendum. And that's the referendum is something that we need for our own life. And we stand for the Biafra. So, and again, I use this opportunity that I want to inform this thing. I want to tell our leader from this place, Nnamdi Kanu, that we need Radio Biafra in Isuzu, because we don't have it, and including Ihamufu, so that our people will know what is going on now. Because the population that we have in Isuzu or in Ihamufu, if Isuzu did not vote in Enugu State in this coming election, it will affect Enugu State, which even Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi knows. And Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi is using our people for the politics. Look at, if you go there now, the whole federal road and the local government road, none of them is good. Go there now, you cannot even, I'm in Italy now, what is going on that place? No bridge, no electricity, No, nothing infrastructure is working there. Please, I need Radio Biafra by any possible means in that place, because the population is very high there. Please, I need it so that my people will know. We are not benefiting anything from government, and even our leader Nnamdi Kanu know Ihamufu. That Ihamufu, because I have seen him showing the world the map in Biafra land. That particular Ihamufu. From Kalago Junction to Obodo, there's no good road. That is federal road. That Muhammad Buhari used to. He jet our former governor because of that, because he did that road during military regime. He jet him, and the Enugu state now is called, our people now is now coming to vote again for this place. No, it's not good like that, because we are not benefiting anything in Nigeria government. So we want to leave, we want to vote for referendum, but I need Radio Biafra for that place. Isuzo local government. So Enugu, sorry, Ihamufu, where Federal College is. Please, I need it, my people. And I thank you all. I say God bless Biafra, and we shall live and benefit our things there.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Of course, Biafra must be restored. And as for the radio, I know the leadership is doing something urgently. They are trying to ensure that all nooks and crannies of Biafra land has been saturated. And of course, you must get the Radio Biafra there very soon. And I know they also heard you, and will start doing something as soon as possible. Thank you very much. All we know is that Biafra must be restored, whether they like it or not. They fought so hard, but it's really, really unfortunate for them that we refuse to capitulate. We refuse to, to back down. We must ensure that Biafra is restored sooner than later. And of course, this generation must restore Biafra. All right, call us on WhatsApp, call us on Skype, call us on Facebook, call our direct line to make your own contribution. Call on the phone. Hello. Hello, call on the phone. Can you hear me?
Hello.
Yeah, can you please turn down the volume of your listening device? Good morning from here. Can you hear me? Are you still there?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hello.
What's the name you are calling from?
Hello. Can you hear me?
Okay, we have another caller there. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, please go ahead. Call on the phone. Hello, good morning from here.
Hello.
Hello, they call on the phone. Call on WhatsApp. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, good morning. What's the name you are calling from?
Hello.
Hello, can hear you. Good morning.
Hello. Are you hearing me?
Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay. My name is Prince Harrison, calling from Lomitogo.
Wow, you're welcome. We've missed you a great deal. Welcome to the program this morning.
I have been, it's like I lost the number. I have not been to be, communicate with people for a long time. Now I'm watching the TV. The TV is not showing. I just switch on radio now.
Okay. That's too bad. We'll see what we can do about it.
I hope you were okay.
Yes, we are okay. And
hello?
you?
Oh, I'm okay. I'm okay.
Glad to hear from you.
And Bright, I hope Bright is okay too.
Thank you. I'm okay.
All right. The Lord of Biafra. I want to talk about that JUBRIL called, I don't know what to call it. The zoo people used to put that Asarok. They call it a president.
I want to tell the world that only Nigeria can do that stupid thing. The only Nigeria, a fool. They are a fool. They will use another person, a country, to come and put on that seat. It's only Nigeria can do that bullshit. Another country cannot do that bullshit. To show that the other Nigeria are foolish. This thing cannot happen in this Lomitogo here. It cannot happen. The only Nigeria, because of oil, they go and pick another human being from another country. See that all of them they're foolish because of oil. Now our leaders say that about their hand, their hand which Buhari are not the same. Now he was closing his hand now. That's closing his hand to show that what our leader is saying is very pure. But all these people called pastors in Nigeria, they keep quiet. They keep quiet. I don't know the kind of God they are worshiping. They are worshiping in their pockets. Because they are worshiping in their pocket. They're not worshiping God. But what am I trying to say this morning is that the restoration of Biafra must come. We must be free. We must be free. Because if you think you have money, you don't know that you are in bondage. You are still in bondage. If you know you are a Biafran, you are living well. You are not living well. So what am I trying to say is that I'm very happy for you people, because I thank God for Nnamdi Kanu and you people. Thank you for listening to me this morning. God bless you. Bye.
Thank you so much, Mazi Harrison. You know, it has been a long time. Okay, we have another call on the phone. Call on the phone. Good morning. Welcome to the program. Hello, call on the phone. Okay, we have another call on WhatsApp. Call on WhatsApp. Welcome to the program. Good morning.
Hello, my name is Evi. You're calling from Benin, Edo State. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay. I must greet Biafrans all over the world, and also greet my sister Ngozeka, who told me that consistence always win. That really win, because many people have been jamming my call. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead. Of course, you've been disturbing me.
Okay, so
thank God you've called.
Okay, so one of the reasons that made me called based on this JUBRIL saga, something really happened to me on let me say either Friday last week or on Thursday. You know, I went to a newspaper vendor where they were reading newspaper. Then I was analyzing the issue of JUBRIL to many people that was there, and even Hausas. So many Hausas was there as well. Then I brought out my phone. I was showing them the pictures of JUBRIL, the palms and other things, trying to analyze. Many believe, but something happened. Some Hausas that was there, when I was showing them the picture, I said, "Okay, come and see. This one is led to Buhari, and this JUBRIL." I order. They attack me. I collect better slap. Understand? As in, I'm telling you the gospel truth. If not that I'm courageous enough, as in, it would have changed. As in, they would have changed it instantly. But I challenge them. Understand? So, in the issue of this, I'm also advising Biafra all over the world, as in we should know how we go about this Buhari saga, because we don't know who is who, and you don't know who is around us. Understand?
Thank you very much.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Hello?
All right, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Of course, we need to be careful, and of course, especially you that is there, you're very much important to us as the Edo State media. You are needed, and you don't need to be careless about yourself, because a lot of things are going on. We need to be getting from you guys over there. Thank you very much for calling us this morning. Of course, it's been disturbed. You said the lines are not going. There are lots of callers. A consistency wins the race.
Okay,
That is what we are.
So many callers.
Yeah.
You know.
Everyone wants to air their opinion. It's very important. Here in Biafra land, we carry everyone along because we want to ensure that we run an all-inclusive government. Everyone's voice is needed. Call on the phone. Hello.
Hello?
Yes, good morning. What's the name you are calling from?
Good morning. My name is Anna Yochukwu. I'm calling from China. I'm from Ogolle in Jefferland.
You're welcome to the program. Go ahead.
I especially greet my spring leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. May people come and continue to bless him wherever he is. I also thank God on behalf. I ask God to bless all the IPOB and all the principal officers, and bless you people that are here in the studio breaking this news in the way we understand it very well. I say may God continue to encourage you people and to protect you people.
You see?
In the name of your Yeshua.
You see?
Talking about the discussion this morning about JUBRIL. The news is obvious. And my take on it, it's a shame to the National Assembly, those that are calling themselves lawmakers. They are just being hypocrites. They don't want to do anything. Ever since 1999, they say they return to democracy. It's almost, every day is always going there, in our dialect we say, olo. That is what the national, our honorable men are good at. They are just shining away from the truth. They don't want to do anything, thinking that when everything falls, they will get safe. They don't know that each and every one of us will partake on the punishment when everything is unveiled. So it's shame to be, I think shame on them, because they cannot even, ever since they have been there and doing one thing or the other, making law, protecting law. What they have always do that whenever any policy from the executive is affected, they will be singing their democracy is at stake. They want to forget democracy. None of them have ever stand up on the protest against any law that is affecting the pharmacists. None of them have done that. This is the big issue. All of them know it. None of them have walked out or do anything that will attract people's backup. None of them do it. It's a shame and a disgrace to them. I think the people try to bless every IPO worldwide in the name of your Yeshua. Thanks guys for taking this morning.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Of course. Okay, we'll have a call on WhatsApp. Hello. Hello, call on WhatsApp.
Hello.
Yes, good morning. What's the name you are calling from?
Yeah, good morning. My name is Chukwemeka Patrick Anukudolo. I'm from Olo, Prevent, but I base here in Bali, Indonesia. How are you guys doing?
Very well, thank you.
All right. I want to, first of all, although people know me, I'm also known as Meskana. I want to, first of all, thank our leader, Nnamdi Kanu. He's doing a great job. And everything he has been saying right from the day, since I started listening to him since 2013, everything seemed to come to reality, you know. And I've been following him. I've never doubted him for one day. I have always listened to him, his advice. In fact, he has opened my eyes Wherever I go, I try to encourage my people, our people, Biafra people, to at least to follow and to listen. I have always forced my friends to download the Radio Biafra app on their phones, and I can categorically tell you that a lot of my friends now are listening to Radio Biafra, and they are now convinced to know that we are not Nigerians. Wherever I go, I preach this gospel. I tell people to listen to Radio Biafra because it is the only hope we have. You know, my father fought the war. Up to now, he hasn't nothing. We are even